The Suicide Club by Robert Louis Stevenson. The story begins with two men at a bar, a prince and his advisor wanting more in life. Later that night, a gentleman comes in selling cream tarts. The two ask him why he's selling cream tarts, and that he says he wants to begin a business selling cream tarts. Though he asks them later that night to join for dinner. After dinner, he tells the two that he is in a state of deep depression and that he wants to commit suicide. Though he cannot because it would tarnish his honor. So he asks them to join him to a club. When the two arrive at the club, they see that there's a bunch of gentlemen playing cards. The president goes up to them and talks to them about the Suicide Club. The Suicide Club is a group of gentlemen who want to commit suicide but don't want to tarnish their honor. So they play a game. The game is that whenever they deal a deck of cards, the gentleman who receives the ace of clubs will be killed that night, and that the gentleman who receives the ace of spades will be the murderer. After learning this, and a deck of cards being put out, the two converse and speak that they want to end this club, for it is evil. Later that year, an American named Jean is in Paris at a party. There, he's seduced by a young woman she tells him to go into a bar. There, he waits for her for hours, and that he goes back to his room in disgust. When he returns to his room, he finds a dead body on his bed. He goes for a doctor, and the doctor persuades him to put the body in the trunk and send it off to the prince, for this is the advisor's brother. The prince later on sees that it was his advisor's brother and wants revenge on the president, for he knows that it is him. So he then hosts a party, trying to find two men who is very brave, and that later that night, after a contest, he finds the two men, a major and a detective, which afterwards, the prince goes and challenges the president to a duel, where the prince wins in a duel and kills the president off, ending the Suicide Club. The moral of the story is that don't just gamble your life away. Your life is precious and that you are needed most for people around you. Try to find other ways to deal with your depression instead of just killing yourself off or leading yourself to gamble. The story was The Suicide Club by Robert Louis Stevenson, and I hope you enjoyed.